Before the heaven and the earth came to existence, what was I? Before the heaven and the earth came to existence, what was I? Before the heaven and the earth came to existence, what was I? Dharma friends and practitioner, the patriarch provided their experience in the practice. Like when the spiritual practice seriously, the body always straight. Mean that in any position, the main four positions, walking, sitting, standing, or lying down, always straight. Because the mind is serious, like we practice, we don't gain thing, we don't seek thing, and we don't fearing anything else. That automatically let the body become quiet, become peacefully. You don't try to find out which one peacefully, which one quietly, where and what time. When the practice maintained down anytime, anywhere, any places, automatically the quiet and peaceful always in mind and always in our body. So practice maintain maintaining down. The practice ask the question, maintain down. And our practice methods always emphasize practicing, emphasize practice. The practitioner always have the right view, the right talk of the right Buddha Dharma, scoop out self-attachment. Like we practice, we still like maintain down, mean we practice nothing to seek, nothing to gain, and nothing to fear. No name, no good name on that, no appearance on that, frame on that. Mean no even one thought in that. The practice, if seriously in practice, like seriously in asking the question and raising down, continue to ask the question, is maintain doubt that will become less seriously because the strong believe in the zone mind. So we just practice. Ask the question clearly, continuously, seriously, and practice diligently. Ask the question. Kính thưa quý thầy, quý sư cô, cùng toàn thể quý bạn đồng tham.
Dear monks, nuns, and all the Dharma friends.
Mỗi ngày đều cùng nhắc nhở.
So every day we come together and remind each other also share about our practice
và
and
giống như là giám sát, giống như
strengthening our trust in the mind. It's just like when we
đầy đủ
gardening, taking care the plants, and it's gonna eventually it's gonna create the fruits.
làm ruộng trồng cây.
And even it's a little more important in the practice than gardening, because in our practice it could fall into the our own ignorance, our own self-attachment. So in our practice, the patriarchs always remind us, all practitioners who practice the true Dharma, and in our postures, for postures in our daily life. And when your mind is right, when your mind is in the right attitude, the body will be in the attitude. And when the mind is true in the attitude, it's just like the cedar, straight up like a cedar. And we should not try to focus from our only external or external appearance. It's basically come from our own inner work, inner fruition. So it come from our own natural practice. It's not come from our showing up, our own effort to make it look good. So when we sit in a very stable posture, and when we stand like a tree. So all our 4 postures throughout the day, laying, standing, sitting, walking, they all come from our own inner mind, inner practice. And when we have this practice, it's basically it gives us its own fruition. So in the teaching, when our mind is come with the strength here is like the lion, and when our posture is look like the elephant, very stable, and it comes from our own mind, but not it's just from the look from from our own faking, trying to look good. So just like the elephant or the lions in the forest, when the lions try to roar and all the animals are afraid of the lion. So just like our Sangha, when our Sangha is strong in the practice and everything else, our own ignorance, basically not able to create its own energy. And when our instinctual energy transform into the practice, it creates all the good in our practice, in our life, and so on. And we can reflect this through our postures. And when we get stuck in our situation in our life, then it creates a fake form because due to our practice is not diligently enough. We not have the strong determination for birth and death. And so the sixth patriarch, he always reminds us that always return to look our own mistake, but not others. And that is gonna eventually let go of our self-detachment. And I want to use the words of the patriarch, especially the sixth patriarch, to remind everyone to return to the practice. So now it's the time for our question and answer, or if you want to share your practice, please do so. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Miss Kim Ying, please go ahead.
Dạ, Nam mô Bổn sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear monks and nuns and all Zen practitioners, can I ask you this question? And I'm kind of wondering about the Zen master Thich in China, about try to focus in the time for explanation about the practice, and throughout the retreat, the explanations throughout the day, 3 times per day, and you always mention about the Zen master Thich from Kelman's temple, about all the practice in the Zen center, and always focus on the essential practice in the Zen center. So can you explain more about him or the teaching? Thank you. So we have this retreat coming up next week. So I would like to use this opportunity to go over the practice during our retreat. So the retreat, the 7-day retreat, is about like the examination time to self-inquiries. So it's just like we are the farmers. We try to take care our gardening. We should not just leave our gardens, unattended. So we need to check the soil, the fertilizers, and so on. And we also use this metaphor is to reflect our own cause and effect in the practice. And we need to also be able to practice flexibility. We're not just fixed in the rules and but we need also to reflect on based on the weather, so that way we able to take care our garden in more productive. So it's just like, you know, when the weather is raining, so we need to reschedule when we need to till the land. So we're not just you know, fixate on the schedule. Oh, today I need to till the land, even though the out there is really the rain is really pouring down. So we need to also reflect on how we practice, how we live together in the Sangha, and how like the Buddha, you know, in his old day, he's always remind his teachers about the greed. So while you walk on the road, and if you see a pot of gold, and you should not start, you know, to have this greedy mind, and because it's gonna create a lot of trouble. And or when you walk on a road that has there's a snake in a corner, then he start to teach teaching about a snake, or and so on. So basically the patriarch, they also use the same method as the Buddha. They try to skillfully come up with different teachings based on the behaviors of the sanghas. And so in the Zendo, back in China, so when during the 7-day retreat, when the practitioners fall asleep, so he need to be awake by use the stick to wake him up. And so to help, you know, practitioner to get out of the deep layer of sleepiness. So when during the 7-day retreat, when you take a break to go get some water or tea to drink, if you come down to get, you know, the drink, you need to drink and get back to the Zendo and practice, but not, you know, try to hang out and talking and create, you know, a lot of problems during the retreat. So the any teaching during the Zen retreat, we need to learn. So we need to follow the Sangha, all the Zen practitioners. When we in the retreat and we get thirsty, we have to wait until, you know, there's the water break or the water or tea serving. So we should not go with our own habitual patterns in our daily life. So during retreat, you're able to tame this mind. So the precept on non-drinking, the refrain from drinking the alcohol, and because we know that, you know, drinking any kind of addictive ingredients is gonna create addiction to one mind. So
đó là cái
if
bậy và cái sai lầm hết sức á. Mình không có biết.
you know, there's
Cái khi
no
mình sai mình không biết mình sai.
rules,
Tại sao? Tại
then
chậm thật.
we gonna drink whatever we want,
Trong lúc
beer
tu
or
tập,
wine
tại
and
sao
so
ở
on.
trong thiền đường, ví dụ như
So therefore, during the retreat, we cannot drink any alcohol because it's going to help us in the practice. So even, you know, when someone uses a phone to take pictures or to record in the Zendo, you know, they get beat and they get take away their device because it's going to create a lot of obstacles for their practice. And if they, you know, try to distract themselves from the practice by taking photos and recordings and so on. And even though
tôi nghe phone, tôi coi phone, rồi tôi coi ngữ lục, tôi đọc ngữ lục, tôi nghe
when someone say that, oh, I'm not using the phone just, you know, for something else. I'm reading the teaching of the patriarch. So it doesn't matter what. You don't have to excuse yourself. You should practice. When everyone else practice meditation, you should practice meditation. You should not do anything else differently. So we need to be really mindful about this. And when we don't take our practice seriously, then it's gonna create a lot of problem for yourself and others. And we go on the opposite teaching from the Buddha and the patriarchs. So we need to practice the practice that's going to help us to create a lot more trust in the mind and help, you know, our practice, improve our practice. So it's based on, you know, the conditions. So everyone in the Zendo really want to practice, and we should focus on that guideline, that rules. So even, you know, when our mind is want us to do something else, no, we should focus on the practice as everyone else. So that is gonna help benefit the practice for everyone else as a whole. So therefore, it's very important that practitioners need to understand this and continue to practice to exhaust our own habitual energies. So therefore, you know, during the Buddha time, the patriarch time, they always use this guidelines. And so based on the condition that the patriarchs, they use the skillful means. And so when, you know, a farmers found this new piece of land, they need to they're gonna observe, you know, what kind of land or soil it's gonna they're gonna plant. So basically, it's the same thing. As a practitioners, we need to understand our own mind so that we able to practice in a right way, so that from there we're able to adapt to the teaching slowly and the true meaning of our teaching. So basically, it's just we need to return to our
không có thấu á, không có thấy
our
được á,
practice
thì có nói mấy đi nữa không có
to understand the teaching.
Giống như là
So we have to
trong kinh Di Mô
understand
Cật
our
á,
own mind
cái hàng
that
thanh
way,
văn á,
so we're able
cái chấp của
to
họ quá nặng,
understand the meaning of
họ không
the
thể tiêu
Buddha,
hóa nổi
the teaching of
cái
the
cơ
Buddha
vô
and the
tích,
patriarchs.
cái pháp
So
lưỡng
it's just
nghĩa.
like in the
Khi ở mức
Vilamakirti
lưỡng nghĩa,
teaching,
họ có thể
the
mà
arahants, they
ngồi
not
lưỡng nghĩa.
able to consume
Cái chỗ này chúng ta phải nhìn nhận á, giống như trong
the fragrance
Lăng
of
Già Tam
the
Ấn nói
rice
chủng
that
tánh á,
they
bốn thứ chủng tánh á.
people
Chủng tánh tiểu
offer
thừa thì
them.
học cái gì
So
cũng kẹp tiểu thừa thôi.
so when
Tự
our
nhiên hướng
mind
thượng,
is
không muốn đi lên. Chỉ
in
ngắt một
the
chỗ thôi.
the
Mà chỗ đó
arahants
Đức Phật cũng dạy tiểu thừa, phải
mind,
là Phật không dạy. Phật
then
dạy trong Phật cũng quở
they're
một
not able
kêu
to
ra vài chục.
adapt, you know, any other
Thành thoát cái hạt
teachings.
giống giải thoát.
They just
Phật dạy trong Phật
attached
quở
to
ra cho
their
họ
own
lên phát triển,
understanding,
mà cũng không phát triển.
and they're not able to develop
Rất là
into
khó. Cái tâm rất khó.
the greater teaching because of the
Còn
self
cái
attachment of
ngoại
their
đạo
own
trung
mind.
tánh thì khỏi chê. Học chỗ nào
And
cũng
the
thành ngoại đạo hết. Hành gì cũng
external
thành ngoại đạo, học gì cũng thành ngoại
mind,
đạo. Tại trung tánh
this
là ngoại đạo.
means that
Không thể
they are not
tiếp
belong
nhận
into
chánh pháp.
the Buddhism. They
Thì
only attach
phải
to
có
their
cái sự
own
tu
view,
tập,
to their
phải
own
có sự bắt buộc, phải có cái phá ngã chấp.
understanding, and they're not
Chúng ta mới
able to
đi vào
understand
cái
the teaching of the Buddhism.
chính đạo được. Giống như là cái chánh báo đúng á, thì cái
So
nghi báo nó sẽ
only
đúng được.
the mind that has the right
Chỗ này thật ra
adaptation
nói
to
ra
the teaching and
mình
able
tự kiểm thảo
to
chính mình, luôn
open
luôn kiểm thảo chính mình, chứ không khéo
open to
mình lọt ở trong
the
cái
other views,
mê
and they're able
lầm
to
là không
adapt
biết.
to what they need
Thì
to improve
phải
themselves.
công phu, phải
So
công phu.
so this basically is
Rồi tất
based
cả
on our own
cái chánh báo khi mà nó
practice,
đầy đủ và nó
and
mạnh mẽ,
it's gonna give
thì
the
đó
fruition
nó theo những cái chánh luôn tránh được cái tà.
as they are, and it's gonna give us a
Bây giờ nghe
true
hiểu không?
teaching and fruition. So does it make sense to you? Yes, thank you.
Cái biển là tiếp.
Miss Kimmy, please go ahead.
Dạ thưa thầy, con
Dear Thầy,
xin thầy khai thị thêm cho chúng con
I
để
would
có một
like to
cái
ask you to
có cái niềm tin
expound
tâm,
on
giống như là rõ ràng cái con đường
the
đi
teaching
trong
of
cái sự học pháp của mình.
strengthening our
Thầy nói
trust
câu
in the
này là cái
mind
thiện tri thức
in the
chia sẻ
practice.
về
I have
Thầy
heard
Đức Lâm giống như
the
là
wise teachers,
cái
you know,
cái pháp, cái tông phong cũng
they
giống
have
như là
taught
cái hành cái thực hành
such
công
as the
phu,
Zen master Duklam,
giống như áp dụng các quy củ hoặc là
about the
thời khóa ở bên
guidelines or the rules
con cũng rất là
for the
tin tưởng, tại
Zendo.
vì khi mà con nghe thầy khai thị nói về cái
So when I
cái
listen to your
giống như là
teaching
cái sự công phu tu tập áp dụng
of
các quy củ,
Zen masters
đem lại cái sự lợi ích
Duklam,
rất là lớn cho tất
his
cả đại chúng.
dedication, his
Như là
teaching,
những cái hành giả thực thiện.
his
Nhưng
contribution
mà bên
to
cạnh đó thì
the Zen
cũng
tradition.
nghe chia sẻ về cái giống như là những cái ý chưa đúng về cái sự hành pháp, thực hành pháp môn tham tổ sư thiền của
and also in the meantime I listen to
cái tam thai tông chứ không phải
different tradition.
thì con xin thầy khai thị
They have a different
chúng con có thể có một cái
view on the patriarch Zen.
của những cái người đi trước để chúng con có một cái sự
So can you explain more about this so we have a correct view?
Cái thực sự ra nếu mà chúng ta có cái sự công phu,
so just
đúng đắn,
basically when we have our right practice,
cái hành trạng, cái hướng dẫn, cái lời khai thị của các thiền tri thức, chúng ta sẽ nhìn ra vấn đề, rõ được cái vấn đề, nếu mình thấu được cái ý
when we have
của
the
các thiền tri thức,
teaching from the wise teachers,
cái bản ý Phật,
they
không có
will say the
khác
same
với
thing.
lại cái
They will
tâm
help
ý của
us
tổ
to
sư.
understand
Do mình
the
có một cái
true
thành kiến,
teaching
do mình mang một cái chủ trương
of
chủ
the
trương
Zen
thành kiến này là
practice.
tự kiến lập, nghĩa tri kiến.
So when we have this
cho nên
different goals and different
tại mình cứ chạy theo
view,
cái suy nghĩ của mình, cái hiểu
and
của mình thất bại. Đã nói cái hiểu mình,
then they probably propose different or their own view, their own understanding about the Zen practice. So each one of us, we all have the practice, we all have the understanding of the Dharma, and this may become maybe sometimes it's correct, but most of the time it's basically come from our own egoistic view. So when we talking about the teaching of the Buddha, usually it's all about let go of the self. So if we base on all the people in the world say that have their own view, then we run after their view. No, we cannot do that. We have to stick to the true teaching, but the true teaching come from our own practice, and the true teaching is go beyond the duality. And so whether the mind, the Buddha mind, the animal mind, the human mind, sentient being mind, it's all comes from our own mind. So it's manifest through our own ignorance, self-attachment, and this comes from our dualistic mode of thinking. So therefore, we should understand the teaching of the Buddha or the patriarchs is based on our own practice. And sometimes other traditions, they try to attack one another through their own views, different views. And even when we have Buddhist teachers, and when they don't have their own practice, and they only have their own view or understand them through the worldly mind, so it's come from their own observation, still on the dualistic. So when we have different traditions like tradition, they have their own view, and they want to differentiate the other view, or sometimes they attack the other views. So and when the view is different. It could come from
nói hay là chỉ có hành mà
benefit their own, you know,
thì nó đang đam mê trên những cái sai lầm
attachment,
do ngã chấp
and we have our own problem as well.
Họ không học được Phật pháp đó mà, thì lấy cái pháp đó để mà dẫn chứng, để nhiếp họ, cái ý của Phật nhiếp họ vào cái chánh pháp.
So we have to practice, and eventually when we have the true understanding, and we try to help them as much as we can to lead them into the true Dharma, to understanding of the
không biết mà có khi
teaching.
do cái không biết, mà do cái tưởng tượng, do cái cho là
so sometimes people, they don't have the right understanding, or they don't have the right teaching, and they need, you know, the wise teacher to help them, to lead them back into the true Dharma path. So sometimes, you know, all the skillful teachings, eventually it's going to lead to the absolute teaching. So when we have the teaching of the Lotus tradition, or Lotus teaching tradition, they have the contemplation, the three contemplation, from the conventional to the absolute. So eventually they reach to the Tao teaching, or the Tao practice. So when we have the Tathagata practice, and they have the different teaching or contemplation, and eventually they're going to get to the absolute. And when we have different practice, but eventually it's going to lead us to the prajna teaching. So the skillful means by the wise teachers or the patriarchs try to help practitioners return to the prajna mind. So the prajna mind here has come from greater doubt. So therefore, the practitioners, they need to truly understand the meaning of the Huatou. So eventually they're able to practice correctly. So therefore, you know, we have to remind practitioners every day, day in and day out, to truly understand the meaning of the Huatou, the practice. So then we able to distinguish between the self-attachment practice and non-self-attachment practice. So that's why we able to we don't waste our opportunity in the practice. So therefore we need to practice ourselves, so then we don't misunderstand about the practice, the Zen practice. So we don't have to go to the battle, you know, fighting with each other about a practice. So for those who they don't really truly understand the Zen practice, and they keep, you know, propagate, you know, their own views. So that's the problem. So but for ourselves, we need to continue to practice and keep going with the words, the teaching of the Buddha and the patriarchs, based on the teaching, and we're gonna focus on. And so the we don't waste our own practice, our own opportunity. So we're gonna go to straight to the great doubt, but not the false doubt. So always we go back and reflect our own faults, our own mistake. So so when we say we need to get rid of our self-attachment to the mind by practicing, but not by words, but not by our understanding. So because our own, strong determination to resolve birth and death, and we help propagate the true practice, the true Dharma by our own practice, and we help all sentient beings by practice the true Dharma. And the true Dharma here should match with the words of the Buddha and the patriarchs. So the true Dharma is able to spread, everywhere. So it's not many that people have the true Dharma, the true practice. So we should not use the mind of that has a false expectation or false speculation. So this is just because of our own benefit. That's why I want to say this. So we run out of time.